Welcome to the enchanting world of Mayabai, where dreams intertwine with reality. Meet Jacob, a curious man who, at 45, leaves his tranquil village to embark on a journey of discovery. However, upon entering the bustling city of Mayabai, he is confronted with a puzzling sight: a city full of people, yet they are all asleep. Why would anyone choose to dream their life away instead of truly living it? Join Jacob as he unravels the mystery of Mayabai and learns profound lessons that challenge everything he thought he knew. Get ready for a tale that will awaken your own sense of adventure. Jacob was a man who, at 45 years old, decided to embark on a journey around the world on foot, carrying only a backpack. He came from a small village in the countryside, surrounded by a calm and supportive community. In that place, technology was used only when necessary, and everyone enjoyed outdoor activities, nature, and teamwork. Despite being happy in that environment, Jacob felt a deep yearning to explore the world and discover the wonders beyond the boundaries of his hometown. He began his journey without a specific destination, choosing one of the paths that branched out from the village and deciding to follow it to see where it would lead him. It took him nearly 5 days to reach the first town. From a distance, he spotted a place much larger than he was used to. It appeared to be a big city. As he approached its entrance, he saw a huge sign that read, "Welcome to Mayabai, where dreams come true." This phrase amazed Jacob, igniting an even greater desire within him to enter the city and uncover the fantastic things it held. However, as he moved forward, that excitement began to turn into confusion as he observed everything in his path. The city was crowded with people. Cars, busy streets, and bustling shops. What bewildered him was that all the people he saw were asleep. None seemed to be awake. Some would slightly open their eyes and lift their heads when they heard someone approaching, but within seconds, they would settle back down to continue sleeping. Jacob couldn't understand what was happening. During his walk, he arrived at the door of a small restaurant and decided to go in, as he was hungry and wanted to eat something. Upon entering, he noticed that almost all the tables were occupied, but, like outside, the people were deeply asleep. To his surprise and joy, the man behind the counter was awake and active. Without wasting time, Jacob approached him and said, "Hello, I just arrived in the city, and I don't understand what's going on. Why is everyone asleep?" The man behind the counter, a burly man in his 70s with a friendly face, turned his head and looked directly into Jacob's eyes to respond. "That's what they do every day. They feel more comfortable sleeping and dreaming of life than actually living it." These words deepened Jacob's incredulity, as they seemed so outrageous that he thought he must not have understood what he had just heard. How is this possible? Why would anyone prefer to be asleep all the time instead of being awake to live life? Because it has always been this way in this city. From the moment children are born, they are taught to fear life. They are instilled with the idea that to be safe, it's best to forget who they are and enter a dream where they can be the character they wish, living in the illusion that feels most comfortable. Over time, that illusion becomes so strong that they perceive it as their reality. Many sleep because they don't know how to be awake, and others are afraid to wake up. But do they never wake up? Jacob asked, intrigued. They do occasionally, but many fall back asleep right away. Those who stay awake longer desire change and begin to question everything they have learned up to that point. The problem is that these teachings are so deeply rooted that many struggle to unlearn them and go back to sleep. Those who truly want change are persistent, and over time, they manage to stay awake or remain awake for long periods. I can't believe what you're telling me. Where I come from, we are all awake all the time. We only sleep when we need to rest, and when we do, It's deep sleep. When we wake up, we rise feeling renewed and energized to enjoy the day," said Jacob. "You must have grown up in a wonderful place," the man behind the counter commented. "It truly is." There was a brief pause, and Jacob continued. "How did you manage to stay awake, just as you are right now?" The man smiled slightly and said, "I have lived a lot, and through my experiences, I have learned what is truly important and what is not. Over time, I have let go of everything I considered a burden that didn't allow me to find peace. By doing this, I slowly awakened until the moment came when I was fully awake. This has allowed me to see things differently and, from this state, try to support others. Not everyone is aware that they need to wake up, but timely advice is always helpful." As the man behind the counter spoke, Jacob's eyes widened as if he had just realized something important, and he hurriedly asked, "Does the phrase I read at the entrance of the city have anything to do with this?" It said, "Mayabai, where dreams come true." Of course, it has a lot to do with it. By not living reality as it is, our dreams become our perception of reality. Many are unaware that they are living in a dream because they have validated everything that happens there, considering it real. They believe they are awake while they are asleep. "But that's crazy," Jacob exclaimed. "It's not. It's part of each person's process. Everyone will awaken at some point, but this dream serves as a necessary step for evolution. We couldn't understand what light is if we weren't familiar with darkness. We wouldn't value happiness without having experienced sadness. Just as we couldn't fully enjoy being awake if we hadn't slept and dreamed before. Everything that happens to us is perfect and aligned to help us grow and evolve." Jacob fell silent for a moment, reflecting on what he had just heard, and then said, "What a great lesson you've given me. I had never seen things this way. It's as if I had always been in the light without being aware of it, as I didn't know darkness. By knowing darkness, one appreciates being in the light much more. The same goes for being awake or being in a dream. Now I see everything differently." They continued talking for a long time, and after a delicious dinner and pleasant conversation, Jacob bid farewell to his new friend to continue his journey. He was excited about everything that awaited him. Mayabai was just the first place he had arrived at, and the lesson he learned there radically changed his outlook on life. He couldn't imagine all the new experiences that lay ahead. With a determined yet unhurried step, he set off without a fixed destination to continue his adventure. The story of Jacob offers profound reflections on life, consciousness, and the choices we make. Jacob, a man living a quiet life in a cozy environment, feels a deep desire to explore the world around him. This longing symbolizes our innate need to seek new experiences and connect with what lies beyond our comfort zones. Upon entering Mayabai, Jacob encounters a city where everyone is asleep, metaphorically trapped in dreams that disconnect them from reality. This stark contrast to his own life leads him to reflect on how many people exist in a state of autopilot. Many choose, often unconsciously, not to see things as they are, but rather through mental filters that provide a sense of security as they believe they are in control. The wisdom of the restaurant owner reveals that many prefer to view life through these illusions because they fear reality, a perspective instilled in them since childhood. This raises the question, how often do we observe the world around us through the lens of our fears? How frequently do we make decisions based on what we are afraid not to do, rather than what we truly desire? The conversations Jacob engages in serve as a powerful reminder that awakening is a personal journey. The notion that many are unaware they are asleep draws our attention to social norms that promote conformity and compel us to set goals often disconnected from our true desires. Jacob learns that genuine awareness comes from questioning our beliefs and experiences, challenging us to confront what we have long accepted as true. It is essential for us to recognize that everything that happens in our lives has a purpose, and every experience we go through, whether we judge it as positive or negative, contributes to our growth. These experiences are necessary steps that guide us to a place that is right for us. The lessons we gain help us evolve and provide us with direction. This story invites us to reflect on our own lives. Are we fully awake, experiencing the world around us to the fullest, or are we merely inside a bubble of illusions, perceiving a threatening world? The narrative encourages us to awaken and see life from a perspective where the filter of our fears does not dominate our view. Living is an adventure of self-discovery, a continuous journey in which we constantly transform. It is an opportunity to embrace challenges that enrich us and allow us to evolve. While it can be daunting, a fulfilling life is achieved by overcoming obstacles.